Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing my top 10 ranking for face primers. I'm so excited for this category. I love every single one of these primers I'm going to mention to you. I have some clear top products. I know some people don't believe in primers, but I'm going to tell you who I think can benefit from primers. It really depends on the person, but I'm going to let you know a variety of facial primers that I feel like would benefit you based on your skin type or concern if you're interested in facial primers. So thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, for wanting to know my top 10 for this category. I cannot wait to continue this series. It feels like it's been a bit since I filmed one of these videos. So we're gonna jump right in. Who do I think needs a primer? If you have very dry skin, if you have very oily skin, or if you have pores or texture you want to smooth out, those people I feel like could utilize a primer. I base a primer on how my skin is that day. You might not need a primer all over your face. You might need primer in a targeted area. Maybe some days you need a primer, maybe some days you don't. I really just look at my skin and see what I need that day. So it can constantly change. I feel like I cover most skin concerns in this video. So if you are curious for your pores or something really good hydration, smoothness, whatever it is you're looking for, I feel like I got you covered in this video. If you want to balance your skin, if you're oily, I got something for you in this video. So let's start off with number 10, and this is the Refy primer. This really popular on TikTok because it's kind of gimmicky. It has this really cool application to it where it rolls on the skin. I know people say this is unhygienic, but if you have a freshly washed face, I don't see the problem in it, but I wouldn't be putting this in your makeup kit if you're a makeup artist. I just wouldn't use this primer for that unless you're dispensing it another way, but this is for personal use. I think it's fantastic because it does have a little bit of grip for it, but this is mainly hydration. It says it's the glow and sculpt, so I do feel like it gives that glow from the formula, but also because of that applicator. If you've ever gua sha'd, I feel like this is similar sort of results. If you use it consistently, I feel like you could get that sculpting because of lymphatic drainage. That's how I see this as. Not that this has any sort of lifting in the serum or anything like that. It's just mainly the applicator and the technique of putting it on that's going to give you that kind of sculpt, but that's going to be an overtime thing. If you've ever gua sha'd, you know what I'm talking about, because truly, when I stopped doing that, the contour of my face just looks different. So I really love this. I think the packaging is unique. The formula is really good. I wouldn't recommend this to absolutely everyone. I feel like there's going to be certain people who really love this. If you're more dry skin, I think you'd absolutely love this. Also, for those who are like me, who are normal to slightly dry but need some smoothing to your face, whether it's dry patches or texture, anything like that, this is also good for aging skin. This is my number 9th spot, and it's the Beauty Blender Boost Firming and Smoothing Peptide Primer. So this is really good for the hydration of it as well. I do feel like my makeup glides on so much better because it does smooth my skin. This is kind of a skincare hybrid for me that I just feel like over time makes my skin smoother. It has a really nice formula and just finish for my skin. For makeup application, right on top. And I feel like if you use the Beauty Blender skin tint like I've recommended, it's my top skin tint or foundation. I use it for both. Then I think you'd really enjoy this to pick it up. I just think they both pair so nicely together. So if you're a fan of that product, like me, the Beauty Blender skin tint, 100% this is something that I think you should pick up and pair with it just because the formula complements it so nicely. I agree with all the claims on this one. It says it smooths and grips makeup, plumps and restores with peptides, hydrates and nourishes with ceramides. Love peptides and ceramides in my skincare products, so this for a primer for me is really beneficial and highly recommend, especially to my Beauty Blender skin tint lovers. My next product here is actually two products. It's two variations of the same thing. It's from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Magic Cream, and I'm currently using the Magic Water Cream, which is a gel-based moisturizer, which typically isn't my preference, but for whatever reason, for this new Charlotte Tilbury cream, I think it has the perfect amount of slip to it and really makes my skin glow. It keeps my skin hydrated as well. I feel like the Magic Cream, though I absolutely love love that one too. It is more geared towards those with drier skin. However, I feel like you should still try this one out and see if you like it more, because for whatever reason, I'm leaning towards the water cream, and I'm typically not a gel person. This just feels like a drink of water to my skin. It has the most incredible texture to it. But as I said, the Magic Cream Original is really good too. I've used that for years. I've purchased countless tubs of that. Literally, I cannot explain how many of those I've repurchased. Probably more than any other primer. I've been using the original formula the longest, but this one, new on the market and one that I highly recommend. Pick up the mini to test it out, see if you like this formula, but it's such an amazing launch from Charlotte Tilbury, and I've been absolutely loving it. My 7th place spot is from Bobbi Brown. This is a cult classic, I feel. It's their vitamin enriched face base. I also love the eye base. Also have repurchased this multiple times. It is so good and hydrating. This one obviously I like more than Magic Cream, but it has that similar thickness to it as the original Magic Cream from Charlotte Tilbury. So if you're a fan of a thicker kind of primer, this is it. This has no pore smoothing claims to it. However, because of the formula and richness and thickness of this, I feel like when my makeup goes on top, I don't need a pore filling primer with this. It's moisturizing plus perfecting on my skin, and I feel like it's a cult classic for a reason. Like, this is one of those ones that I always know my makeup's gonna look so incredible when I use this. It says it's an all-in-one primer and moisturizer. Truly does both. Moisturize the skin plus is perfect to prime before makeup. This I especially recommend to those with dry skin. It's just super nourishing and just provides the perfect amount of moisture prior to makeup. My 5th place spot is for anyone who has issues with pores. I have one that is more skincare based, one that is more affordable, and I'm just including them both as the same because one's in a pot and one's in a stick, and I feel like these truly both, I can't differentiate on my skin. I love them both equally, so I place them equally, and I'm mentioning them both. So first of all, we have the skincare based one, which is from Pore MD. It's the No Makeup Instant Blur. I love this product. It is so amazing for blurring the skin. I like this because it's a thinner blurring product. A lot of blurring products I feel like are a little too thick, and with that thickness, I don't feel like my makeup lies on as nicely. I like a thinner one that can still glide on and cover up my pores, but doesn't give that heaviness. I want thin layers. I can put a lot of makeup on with thin layers. That is the key for me, is using very little of each product so that I can use all these different products for specific areas or concerns I might have. And this one's just really great as a skincare based blurring primer. Super, super thin. My pores are no more with that one. And then this one is from the drugstore, and honestly, when I put these side by side, I can't tell a difference between it. It is the Maybelline Master Blur Stick. This is a pore minimizing primer in a universal transparent shade. So this just goes on the skin like a stick, but you can't see it go on, and you just smooth it out. It makes the most smooth canvas, as I said. Really amazing if you're looking for something affordable and you have pore issue. This is what I'd recommend to you. This is my #1 recommendation for pores if you're on a budget and want to pick something up at the drugstore. I think this is the best for my nose pores, honestly, and it's so convenient. I can just swipe it on, but it is a little bit better if you warm it up in your fingers first and then spread it on. That's when I really think the magic happens. You just press and blur it on, but just have a little bit of the warmth from your fingers, because you can apply it from the stick, which I do often, but just make sure you're really rubbing that into the skin and just kind of pressing it out. And I think it works amazing underneath makeup. It is so good. And then for my top 5, we're getting into top 5. These are all so fantastic. I highly recommend all of these. This one isn't too known. It's from Osmosis, and it's so amazing. It is their Luminous Treatment Primer and Highlighter. So I personally use this to prime my face, though you can pinpoint and use this to highlight, kind of like you would use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter or the e.l.f. glowing product that is better than Charlotte Tilbury that I have. But this works similarly to that, but has amazing ingredients. Osmosis is such a good skincare brand, and this is just perfection if you want a glow underneath your makeup, but also smoothness, because this does it all. This is an all-in-one, but with glow. So if that's what you're looking for and you like a glowy base, but you need that smoothness too, this is the one you want. It's from Osmosis. Fourth place spot, we have the Caliray So Blown Clean Blurring Primer. And you know my love for the Caliray setting spray. The primer is so good too. And right now on Sephora, they do have a set with the primer and the spray to try out. Both I highly recommend. This is in my top 5. So it's a fantastic primer for blurring the skin. It also has clean ingredients if that's something you're personally looking for. And it also says it's a plumping hydrator, oil controller, makeup replacer. You could use this without any sort of product and you just get that smoothness. Pore eraser is mainly what I use this for. But if you do have more oily skin type, this would be a great product to check out. I know so many people with oily skin swear by this primer. As I said, I'm more normal leaning dry, but I still really love this just in my T-zone where I have the pores, and it's perfect for smoothing those out. For my third place spot, this is even better for pores. Also oil control. So it's surprising that I do love so many products that are geared towards those with oily skin. It's one of these weird things that I do love a lot of products that are geared towards those with more oily skin. This one is from Hourglass and it's the Vanish Airbrush Primer. I actually need a new one of these and I just got a backup. It is so good. I use this every single time I'm doing event makeup for people. So if my friends ask me to do their makeup, which I'm the one that you call, if you ever need makeup, this is the one I'm going for despite anyone's skin type. I feel like this is a consistent performer for anyone. This would be a safe bet to buy if you want that smoothness, even if you have scarring. I feel like this fills in all that kind of area. Really good for acne scars, for your pores, any kind of smoothness you want. Truly gives that Vanish airbrush finish to your face. It is so good. Also good for oil control. I feel like the one they had before this might be a little bit better for oil control, but this one for the smoothness and overall your makeup gliding on and wear is phenomenal. Any bride, if you sat in my chair, I'd use this for my friends because I don't freelance anymore. But it's such an amazing primer. I highly recommend checking it out. Get a sample if you can. It is so good. My second place spot truly could maybe eventually replace my number 1, but it's newer to me. And I feel like some of you are going to be able to guess this because it is fairly recent and it's from MAC Cosmetics. I am obsessed with their Hyper Real line. I was going on and on about the balm, and that is more of a moisturizer type like the Charlotte Tilbury or the Bobbi Brown. So if that's your preference and not sort of a serum, I would go that way if you're dry. I still highly recommend that. I will link that one down too. However, I finished that and I'm leaning more towards this one because it's even smoother on my skin. And it's the MAC Hyper Real Serumizer. It's the Skin Balancing Hydration Serum. So you want perfect all over skin, it to be balanced and smooth. Look no further than this, and it has the most incredible texture I've ever felt on my skin. I have never felt my skin more silky smooth than with this serumizer. It is incredible. Highly recommend it. It is so pricey though, so I do always recommend getting a mini if they have that as an offer before you invest in the full size. And luckily for this product, they do carry a mini, which you can try first before you go for the big guy. But it is so good, and I feel like if all those claims appeal to you, get this, try it out. Your makeup will just glide on your face and never look better. My number 1 primer is still this one, and I've gone through multiple of this. It is so incredible. It's from Huda Beauty, and it's the Glowish line. It's the Blur Jam. This is a silicone-free primer, so if you're sensitive to that, it is a smoothing primer without the silicone. It is so incredible. It looks a little bit strange because it looks like jam in a jar, but it goes on clear, so do not worry about that. There's a slight tint to it, but when you rub it in, it disappears. Like, you're not gonna get red face all over because I know that can be scary when you see something that looks tinted, but it doesn't do that, and it gives a cooling sensation to the face. For the summer, this over anything is so good. But if you have sensitive skin like myself, I feel like this is just a beautiful primer because it is so cooling and refreshing, but gives that smoothness to the skin. It just feels good on the skin, plus makes your skin look better. It honestly does it all for me. I feel like it's hydrating, it locks my makeup on, it smooths out my skin like no other, plus has that beautiful sensation to my skin, which is cooling but super thin. And it does say to use like a pea size of this. I probably double that, so I honestly use more than it says for this product, but I highly recommend. I put this all over my face. This touches every section of my face. I want my whole skin to be this smooth. It is so incredible. I absolutely love this product, and you guys know I've raved about this for quite some time and I haven't found anything better. This is reaching up there, but I still think at the end of the day, if I were to compare kind of pore claims, this might still beat that one slightly, but it really depends. Whatever day it is, I genuinely go in, see what my skin needs. Maybe I need something here, there, more moisture, whatever, moisture plus some smoothing. I will really just look at my skin and see what it needs because it can change from day to day. But this one is one of those consistent ones that I feel like can work every single day, and that's why it's my number one. So I wanted to let you know my top 10 for my primer category. I know some people are anti-primer and don't think they work, but honestly, if you have specific concerns, I feel like a primer is your best friend before going in with your makeup. I've truly noticed a difference, and just applying makeup to other people, like, I believe in primers. They work so well. So thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, for spending some time with me today. If you've not already, I would absolutely love for you to subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, the bell to be notified of all my future videos. And if you have a number one primer that you love, let me know what it is and let us all know in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys in my next video.